Hi there, welcome to what is an amazing live market breakdown. My name is Sibusiso and I would like to welcome you into our new channel that is You Can Trade Forex. From those who have been with me from the start, they would know that this channel, at first it was FX Lessons with Sibusiso Mdiniso. Now we have quickly changed it into You Can Trade Forex to actually accommodate everyone who's been willing to learn Forex, and also for those who've been trading Forex and now want to take some few analysis and ideas that we have here. Now in this channel, we'll be sharing live market charts. That is, we'll be giving you ideas on a market that is already open, right? And also another thing, this is what we're going to do every week, to share ideas about future movements. So if you haven't done so, make sure that you hit the subscribe button so that you won't miss when another video like this one gets uploaded, because in this type of videos we're going to make sure that we keep it short and simple for everyone to understand and to be able to see when the market is currently open and actually moving. So without further ado, we're gonna go into our charts. Now, going into our live chart, we're going to start off with the 5 pairs for this week. That is the EURUUSD, NZDUSD, GBPJPY, GBPUSD, and XAUUSD. So as you can see here, this is already a live, which is now the market is currently open and the market is already moving. And then today, as you can see, as you're watching this video, you can see that it is Tuesday morning, that is 2 a.m. and then now the time is about 3:15. That is, it is at around 3 a.m. So now we're going to start off with the analysis and I'm going to explain what we're anticipating for EURUUSD. As you can see here on a 4-hour time frame, EURUUSD had an impulse to the downside there, and then it started to make the correction. So we know that in every correction, once we have a correction, we're anticipating that the market is gonna reverse up until it gets to these areas, that is where the correction started, right? So now, which is that for this week here, we're anticipating for ways to push the market into the upside on EURUUSD. Now if you can go to an hour time frame, you can see here that the market made the first touch, the second touch, and then it made the third touch. And then after making a third touch, it gave us a confirmation here, that is the morning star confirmation for the reversal. And after it did that, it pushed to the upside. So now what are we anticipating now for the market? Now we're anticipating that now the market might actually make what? A pullback. So making pullbacks, it could be a pullback up until it gets to this area here, or it might make the pullback up until that end of the morning star. Remember, this was the morning star here, so it could be here, the pullback areas. So now how do we know? So how are we going to know whether it's going to be there or here? We're going to look at how the market moves. As you can see here, the market is still correcting here. So as it still does this correction, if it comes to this point, if it breaks actually this area here, if it breaks this area, then that's when we want to actually enter the market. So which is now when the video is already, as you are watching this video, you already see whether the market is broken into this area or it's still pushing to the downside. So without wasting any time, we're gonna move on into the next pair, because that is all for EURUUSD. Now looking at NZDUSD, we can see that on our 4-hour time frame, NZDUSD, we've had the ranging market, right? So we see here we've been ranging to this area and to that area there, those zones there. So now, which is now we want to jump off into what? Into 1-hour time frame to actually see what we're anticipating for NZDUSD. So looking at NZDUSD, you can see here that on our 1-hour time frame, anticipating that if NZDUSD creates, as you can see here, it had an impulse to the downside and it started to correct, which is now it's forming what we call a double bottom. So if it creates this double bottom, we will see a confirmation of what? Of things like bullish engulfing or morning star. If it gives us that confirmation, that's when we can safely put our buys, right? Push the market up until we use that area as our first take profit. This one here is our first take profit, and move it to that part as our final profit. So that is all for NZDUSD. I hope that makes sense. So now we're gonna move on into another pair, which is GBPJPY. As you can see, for GBPJPY, we have already a trade that is still running there. Well, we have a buy stop, but we see here, looking at GBPJPY here, before you can see that we had a correction and then we broke that correction. Then every time when we break the correction, we're anticipating that the market is going to push up until it gets to the end of the where the correction started. And then after doing that, what we anticipate is that the market is gonna reverse after doing that. That is gonna push back up until it gets to exactly where there was the breakout. So now looking at this, we see that GBPJPY, when it got to the end of this correction that we had earlier, which is this one, we see that now we've been waiting for any ways of reversal, which is, if we can go into this 30 minutes time frame, you can see here that it gave us what? It gave us the morning star, that is as a form of what? Of the reversal, and then it came for the pullback, and then again it gave us another morning star here. As you can see there, another morning star, and then after that, now we're anticipating that it's gonna reverse. So now what are we saying now? So we are saying now we're anticipating that this chart is gonna push up until it gets to these areas as our first take profit, but we are pushing it up until it gets where? Into where it all started, that is here. So that is where we're looking for our final take profits. And as we all know, this might not actually move up until it gets there, which is like within this week, but it might eventually get to that area. So now that is all for JPY. Now we're gonna look at GBPUSD. Looking at GBPUSD, you see also the same thing. Market here, you see it had an impulse to the downside and started to correct here. And then our final touch, what are we waiting for now? We're anticipating that the market is going to give us what? Any form of the reversal candlestick. That is, we're looking for the bullish engulfing or the morning star. So this could be here on the 1 hour time frame. This is gonna be the much better one on the 1 hour time frame instead of looking at the 4 hour time frame. So looking at the 1 hour time frame, we see here that we already have what? A form of a correction here, which is now we're creating some sort of a double bottom. So looking at that, as you can see here, double bottom, it's gonna be something like that, right? So obviously we're gonna push the market up until we reach that area. Then that's gonna be our first take profit, but our aim for this trade is to actually push it up until we get to that area. So now finally we're gonna move on into XAUUSD. Looking at XAUUSD, we can see that on XAUUSD we had an impulse to the downside, right? And then we have the correction here, and then we broke that correction, and then now we are looking for areas of the pullback, right? And then after that pullback, that's when we're gonna push the market to the downside. So now looking at this, we are anticipating that now the market should have been giving us any signs or any forms of reversal on the lower time frame. The best time frame for that is going to be the 15 minutes and the 5-minute time frame. So you see here we had the impulse, then the first touch, second touch, and then the third touch here. So now we want to look at how the market closes for this one here. And unfortunately, when you're watching, if you're watching this video now, that is at 7 a.m., you are probably gonna miss this entry, but let's just hope that you don't miss it. But should the market give us any signs of reversal, that is the bearish engulfing or an evening star, that's when we wanna safely enter for our entries. So that is all for this week. I know that this live market chart is going to be helping everyone to actually see the market when it's actually moving. So if you are interested in learning more about the tools that I use to analyze, don't hesitate to send me an email on loantraderfx24@gmail.com. And another thing, if you have anything that you would like to share with me, make sure that you share that on the comment box so that I could actually also learn from you too, guys. So with that, my friends, I wish you a profitable week. Cheers.